You made it. You actually made it here. Congratulations. You have officially beaten the YouTube algorithm and somehow found your way to a video that is not about slime, late night talk shows, or celebrity drama. Because here, my friends, it's all about mobile gaming. And that's why I'm so happy to have you here. Because for the next 5 minutes, I will be throwing 5 mobile games at you, all of which I played throughout the past week. And if you want to play 1 or 2 of them on your own, the download links are in the description box down below as always. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode where we cover a new turn-based strategy Polytopia-competitor, a fun Crash Arena Turbo Stars-like simulation game, an action RPG from 2016 that in some ways actually beat most new RPGs, a turn-based strategy game that reminded me quite a bit of Heroes of Might and Magic 3, and finally an MMORPG with one of the most skill-based and action-packed combat systems I have ever seen in an MMO on mobile. So let's just get started with the first game. Marimo League, not unlike Crash Arena Turbo Stars, has us continually strengthen our warrior tribe over time by upgrading our totem pole and skills, and then we watch our warrior automatically defeat opponents in 1 versus 1 single player matches while we strategically use our skills to impact the outcome of the fight. The game is very enjoyable and it's highly polished, and although it's lacking Cat's multiplayer aspect, there's a ton of single player leagues to finish to keep us entertained with this game. Unlocking new sections for our totem pole requires crafting, which sadly has a built-in wait time, just like sort of a light loot box system. And the high difficulty of the game means that a bit of grinding or in-app purchase buying may be necessary. On the bright side, however, there are no forced advertisements and there is no energy system either. The game requires online access, it takes up 165 megabytes of space, it's available on both Android and iOS, and my verdict is that this game is definitely worth giving a go, and especially if you enjoyed playing Crash Arena Turbo Stars. The World 3 is a 2016 no-loot campaign-based action RPG with 2 classes, a warrior and a mage, over-the-top skill animations, no energy system, and offline playability. The controls work really well in the World 3, making it easy to target enemies to correctly land our skills, and I overall had a lot of fun with this game. Just like most ARPGs, the combat will become slightly repetitive over time, and some may not enjoy the lack of loot, which means that we only have 3 equipable items that can be upgraded but never truly replaced. The good news is that the in-app purchases actually stop already at $25 though, and in comparison to many new ARPGs, the monetization is thus very relaxed in this game. The World 3 can be played offline, it takes up only 337 megabytes of space, it's available on both Android and on iOS, and if you are looking for a relatively small, no bullshit ARPG, the World 3 is still worth giving a go, even though it is a few years old at this point. King's Bounty Legions is a 2013, yes, that old, turn-based strategy game based on the original King's Bounty game, which was the original inspiration for the gameplay in Heroes of Might and Magic 3, which is one of my favorite PC strategy games, if not my favorite, of all time. Unlike Heroes of Might and Magic 3, however, King's Bounty Legions consists of just 1 very long campaign instead of multiple smaller campaigns, and while the castle building aspect of Heroes of Might and Magic 3 has been removed, each of our units can use a skill during combat, which adds a very nice additional strategic and complexity layer to the combat. Sadly, however, the game is rather buggy, the UI buttons are too small, and the controls are definitely not optimized for mobile. Additionally, the in-app purchases allow us to acquire new units and new spells immediately, which does add a pay-to-progress faster element to this game. Needless to say, I love everything this game stands for and tries to be, but the execution may upset some of you, just as it did me. The game requires online access, it takes up 525 megabytes of space. It's been out on Android and on iOS all the way since 2013, and although it does have major UI flaws and definitely is not as polished as many newer mobile games, it is still one of the best Heroes of Might and Magic 3-like gameplay experiences on mobile, so you should consider giving this a go if you really like those types of strategy games. Dragon Nest Mobile is a 3D MMORPG with skill-based action combat, just like in an ARPG really, and it's refreshing. The Dragon Nest Mobile combat is so much more rewarding and interesting than that found in the vast majority of other mobile MMORPGs, and the 6 different classes provide a pretty good variety in combat styles. However, the universe sadly isn't open world, instead opting for a shared open city with all combat areas then split into instances. In addition, there's an energy system limiting our play session length, new armor pieces do not change the look of our character, and the cash shop makes the PvP highly pay to win. It's such a shame really. With that said, the amazing combat system may just be the game's redeeming feature that will make some of you fall in love with this game regardless of its downsides. The game requires online access, it takes up 2.15 GB of space, it's available on Android and on iOS, and you should consider giving it a go, primarily because of the combat system, as long as you're okay with the closed down world and you don't mind the pay-to-win elements. Hexonia is a brand new turn-based strategy game where the goal of each game is to conquer the bases of all of our opponents by building an army and expanding our territory as much as possible. So yes, this game is exactly like Polytopia. So that begs the question, of course, which one is better? Well, here are my quick thoughts. In Hexonia, the graphics look better and they're definitely more polished. The research tree UI is much simpler and we have more control over difficulty and the map sizes. However, there is no multiplayer mode, only one tribe to play as until 2 more unlocked through achievements and the rest through in-app purchases. We're locked to portrait mode and there's just a single game mode in the game. So to conclude, Hexonia is definitely more polished overall, but it does have less features than Polytopia. Hexonia, however, is still brand new, so there's a good chance that additional features will most likely be added, and if multiplayer and more tribes make it into the game, it will definitely become an easy pick. The game is offline playable, it takes up only 107 MB of space, it's out on Android and on iOS right now, and if you enjoyed Polytopia, you're definitely going to enjoy Hexonia as well. So my conclusion is that you should absolutely give the game a go, as it's my favorite of the week as well. Thank you for sticking around till the end of this video, Nimble Squads. Let me know which game was your favorite, and until next time, just keep gaming, stay awesome, and I'll see you guys around.